I'm the Northern Bruiser Drill, and you're about to watch the Raining Rock podcast. Like and subscribe. Or don't do either. I'm not really bothered. In fact, you don't even listen to what I've got to say, because I don't care about you, so why should you care about what I've got to say? In fact, what are you still even doing here?
And that is right, people. After the 6-month mark, I bring in a big guest. But first of all, do grab yourself a drink, because this is the man himself. I am himself, Ricky Golden. This right here is the Raining Rock podcast. And let me bring my guest, and thank you in advance for doing this. He is wrestler, wrestling promoter, the man himself, the bruiser himself. He is Drill.
How's it going?
And how are you today?
All
right, yeah. Let me just bring him out. The man him's the other dude in this camp, the wise man. And if Ian can save his questions until the end, just so that makes it easier. So thank you for doing this. And I've been watching Ireland, UPWB. I really do like your character. So yeah, so thank you.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Thanks for having me on.
So I usually just ask a couple of general questions first, and that is, how long have you been watching wrestling? 5 years for me in December. Oof, I feel old. And who's your favourite all-time wrestler?
So I've been watching wrestling probably since I was 7 years old. So we're probably going back to about 1998, 97. Something like that. So a long time. I will be honest with you though. I don't watch it as much as I used to now. Just for the pure fact it bores me to death. Which I shouldn't really be saying, but it does. But yeah, I don't watch as much. Quite busy. But as for my favourite wrestler, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I could tell it was him
Great
because
choice.
of the bald head.
Mine's a Rock, but yes.
Never a problem. Never a problem with Austin from the all-time greats.
Mine calls a great choice. So what you into wrestling? Was it just purely through watching it, or did someone or what?
So I don't know. I just enjoyed the I just said the glitz and glamour of it, and being a mega star. I thought, do you know what? I reckon I could do a bit of this. You know, it was always every time. Lost my train of thought though. But every time it come on, I was like, I can be a wrestler. It's dead easy. So I'd be like body slamming my sister onto her bed and clotheslining her and stuff, and going, I can do this. I'm Steve Austin. She's like the Undertaker and stuff. And every time we got a chicken, my mum will always leave the wishbone, and I'd always make a wish saying, when I get older, I want to be a wrestler. And I'd always win up time because I'd cheat with my sister. She'd want something else. And yeah, that's what made me really want to be a wrestler, if I'm honest with you. I just enjoyed the larger than life characters, and I was like, I want to be like Steve Austin. He's the man.
And is your sister a wrestler as well because of all that happened, all that wrestling the both of you did?
She's definitely not. No.
You'd be the Knight family then.
I've done a tiny bit of training. Did about 2 months. Joey Hayes and Dave Rain, if you remember Dave Rain drill, they both trained me. I did about 2 months, and I thought, well, not for me. It just hurts. It hurts. So I thought, I'm just better watching a fan. I was getting more enjoyment that way rather than doing it. I ache from the gym, so then
but like, is it like, would you call the pain of training to be a wrestler? Would you call the pain pleasure?
I reckon once you get used to it.
Oh yeah, like I do Kempo karate, and there's a lot of times like where you are going to get hit or kicked around, like in the knees, or probably they do tests on you if they kick you in the groin and all that. You do get the pain, but like you have to really develop it, because we do boxing in there as well. And like I'm got a really nasty smack in that eye there, and it just comes with all the territory that comes with it. But it makes you better as you continue on.
I suppose you just build a tolerance up to it, don't you?
Yeah, there's that as well.
Yeah.
So your style is very it's very ground pound bruiser, but also you have the comedy styles. So what drew you into that style? Was it watching Stone Cold, or was it that's just your preferred style? Your high flyers can be injured. What was it?
Well, originally I set out to just be a brawler, because when I first started in wrestling, I was just mostly a heel constantly. And then I got asked if I could do face, and I'm like, I don't know, because I've never done it before. And they're like, oh, it's dead easy, do this, and this. And I'm like, that's easier said than done, you know what I mean? So then we ended up creating this other character. So obviously, he's the Northern Bruiser Drill, which is the bad guy. And then we had, when I was a bigger guy, when I had a bit more weight on, I was the heavyweight from Wigan. So I had the Wigan colours on, the Northern sleeveless jacket, the flat cap and everything. And I was like, how can I make this character totally different from the character I'm portraying as a bad guy? And I was like, just have fun with it. Be yourself. Turn it up to 100. So that's what I'm basically as a good guy. And I got away with stealing people's moves, taking the mickey. And basically that's how that started. And then somehow, I don't know how, but that character kind of got transferred over to being a heel. And unintentionally, and people just found it funny that I'm like, I can be funny unintentionally, but I'll still punch you in the mouth.
Great style to have, I think that is. Like, people shouldn't underestimate you. People shouldn't think.
No, yeah. So
people
I think
shouldn't think you're a comedy guy who's gonna get a.
Yeah. So I think I'll do something, and then it'll be like people will get it, but I'm like, I don't know what I've done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So I've seen you do commentary. Obviously, you're a wrestler. Do you prefer the wrestling side of things to promoting side of being on commentary?
Can you say that again? You're breaking up there. Sorry.
So I've seen you be a wrestler, you're a promoter, which we'll get to later, and you've done commentary at BTW. So which do you prefer, the wrestling side, the promoting side, or talking on commentary?
I enjoyed it all, if I'm honest with you. I don't really have a favorite. To be fair, I do enjoy commentating. especially as a heel at BTW when I've done it there. I do get told to rein it in a little bit, but it's just, I'm like, this is my character. This is what my character would do as a heel. He's a bit of a bastard. And it's that, it seems to go over really well with a lot of the people. So I'm like, I just crack on until someone tells me stop doing it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do actually really enjoy commentary. But obviously, like promoting has its perks as well, and being a wrestler and stuff. It's a bit more stressful. But when you're on commentary, you can just relax and have a laugh. And you don't have to think too much, and you just go with the flow, especially when you've got a partner with you as well, who's used to being on the radio, stuff like Jim Bailey. Just makes the job so much easier.
Yeah, Jim Bailey, great guy. Interviewed him last week. Yeah, he seems to do a lot. He's does commentary and since how is it working with Jim Bailey? Is it like you said, like you just said, is it, or you find it a little bit hard maybe?
No, it's easy, Jim Bailey. I've known Jim Bailey for years. Well, I don't know if Jim told you or not, but he did try wrestling training himself. So that's where I met him. And obviously he stopped for some reason, and I just carried on. And then I used to see him all the time at Grand Pro Wrestling show. So I used to talk to him, how's it going, blah, blah, whatever. And then I didn't see him for ages. And then obviously when I started my own company up, I was like, who can I get on to do ring announcing who's not being used but has a really good voice and very confident? And that's how we got Jim Bailey on there. And it's just dead easy.
I would like to be a ring announcer. Well, I like being the centre of attention, but if I was ring announcer, I'd be like really shy, saying this wrestler's from wherever, and that. But I'd like to give it a try. What advice could you give me for getting into ring announcing?
Well, I don't know so much on the ring announcing bit, but Matt, I'd probably say a good way to get in is maybe go to a couple of training sessions, feel what it's like to be in the ring, so you know how the wrestlers take the moves, you know what I mean? And just, I said just go to shows and ask if you can do bits and bats, you know, just to work your way up the ladder. And then I think, where is it? I think PCW maybe? They do classes sometimes for like referees, ring announcing and other stuff. So maybe contact them or something. I'm sure it's PCW, but don't quote me on that.
I think it might be, yeah. Ryan Law said get in touch with Isaiah Quinn. Isaiah Quinn is meant to be good at ring announcing and not ring announcing, the managing part of it and being a heel part as well. So he said, ask him his advice.
That's probably a good shout as well, because Isaiah Quinn's, let's say, he's had his fingers in all kinds of pies, so he might be a good option to go to as well.
Yeah, he certainly, with him and Isaac North. Wow. Isaac North is very, very sketch. In real life, he's a big like dude. He's like the nicest guy you can. But in character, huge. So I don't know if Ian's got any questions, but I'll bring him back in now. Just give me a second. Have you got any questions, Ian?
Simple question, really. Where does the name Drill come from?
So basically, how that came around was when I was younger, I used to be really into rap. So I used to try and rap. I wasn't very good at it. I used to only be half decent at it when I used to drink a lot. And I used to really love Dr. Dre. So I used to call myself Dr. Drill. And obviously, exactly. So and then when I got into wrestling, my first training session at GPW, Johnny Brannigan asked, "Do I have any nicknames?" And I was like, "Not really." And I was like, "My mate calls me Drill, though." And he's like, "Why does he call you Drill?" And because I was a kid, this is how my mate explained it to me. He called me Drill originally. And I was like, he explained it to me because I never stopped. So he said, "That's how the name Drill come out." And he laughed and he went, "Right, I'm going to call you Drill from now on." And that's how it came up with, basically.
And do you have any moves that are connected to drills?
What do you mean? In what way?
Do you know, like, if you're like, you could, like, if you do try to away like drills to drill in the road, or like a drill like in for your what a dentist use for your teeth.
No, not really. I tried to think of stuff like that, and I was like, that's a bit corny.
Yes, I could see it now. Yeah, like watch out for the drill drop or something like that. Yeah.
Actually, I tell a lie. Actually, one of my finishers is called the Driller Killer. So that's probably just close.
I know a band who have a song called Driller Killer.
Yes, that's where I came up with the name, because originally I had one of the songs, Legalized Murder, I think it was called, and that was one of my entrance musics right at the beginning.
You're like that'd be kind of be like Natural Born Killers in ECW.
Could have like Isaac Young named. I don't know what his finisher was called. Isaac Yankum was awful, but I presume he had like a dentist name for his finisher. Ian might know. I don't know.
I know you're talking about Isaac Yankum. Ooh, can't remember what his finisher was called.
Kane, but he was Isaac Yankum, yeah.
Yeah, I remember Isaac. I remember Isaac Yankum very well. I can't remember what the finisher was called.
So Drill, I've seen you. Okay, so I've seen you wrestle at, like I said, UBW, Wrestle Island. So where's your preferred place to wrestle? So I think I've seen you've had a more fun at ETW, certainly with Jack Johnson. With the and the see-through bag and your t-shirt, the good character stuff, and I think the dichotomy works very well. Jack is a no-nonsense heel. You're in there trying to help him as the comedy guy, but it doesn't work out. But I think it's all very well done. So,
yeah,
where's your preferred place to wrestle?
It's an hard question, that. If you asked me years ago, it'd have been a different answer from it is now. But let's purely on entertainment and freedom style, I probably will say it's BTW is probably just pipping it. But it's tight with Wrestle Island as well, because I have a lot of fun at Wrestle Island as well, because they just let me get away with daft stuff. But I think maybe Bolton Town Racing, maybe just pip it purely because of the character stuff we do on there.
Yeah, like I said, love your character stuff. Just when you did that segment with the Easter egg and the bag, I was just like laughing so much, just like genius. How did you come up with that, or did Jack Johnson come up with that, or did you both? Was that both your ideas?
No, so I didn't tell Jack Johnson about it. So I was like, I've got this idea, right? But I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to give you something. I'm just, I need it organic. And he's like, oh God, what you've done. I'm like, don't worry, I've got it. But I didn't even tell Matt, the promoter. I didn't even tell him. I was like, I've got something. Give me 2 minutes and it'll be gold. Trust me, it'll get over. And it was a shot. And at the back, when we finished, I went back. He was absolutely in stitches over it. He said, honestly, he had to fight back his laughter just not to ruin it. But not many people knew about what I was going to bring out.
I bet it was hard work not to break character. Like you've seen wrestlers break character. Reigns, famously Reigns Zayn got Reigns to break character. So
yeah.
But yeah, I bet it was very, very hard for him. But I do like Jack Johnson, very good heel. So obviously BTW's gone from strength to strength to strength. I've been there since the second show, and to see its growth is amazing. Battleground, I believe that they got asked to be there. That's huge. They're doing a 2-night show. That's even bigger.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on BTW's growth?
I think it's, for such a young company, I think it's absolutely amazing, if I'm honest with you. I just hope it gets bigger because it's very hard to find a promotion that gives you a bit of everything. And it's not always like it's not always the same roster as well. So it's like a lot of new guys. So you get to see a lot of new folk and not the same wrestlers being recycled on the same shows week in, week out. So it's an exciting place to be at currently. Long may it continue. And I hope it gets bigger and bigger every year.
Hopefully to a 2-night show, just massive for a 3-year company. I wish them all the world. I want it to be as big as they possibly can be. And like I said, for them to be asked to be booked somewhere, they've made it. Like usually, venues contacting the wrestling company contacting venues, as you'll know, you're a promoter. Yeah. So I think I might have seen you, but sorry if I can't remember, but have you done LWF, like Wrestling Federation? Have you wrestled there?
No, I've never wrestled there. I'd like to at least wrestle once there, but I think my gimmick will be absolutely fantastic there. But I've never had the opportunity, unfortunately.
Where I think your gimmick would really look TWA, Jack Barron's company. Do you not think you agree or not?
Yeah. Believe it or not, I've asked, but again, it's never aligned. It's just one of them, just don't get booked there.
I'll have to tell Jack Barron to get booking you. So you're in the ring with her. She won DNA gut check at 19. Her future is just going to be bright and big. She's got many years ahead of her. So wow. What was it like being in the ring with essentially wrestles for TNA?
It is what it is, isn't it? I've known her for years. Travelled with her. Just like being in ring with one of my friends. I don't see her any differently.
Do you not get? You don't get starstruck over anybody like that or anything?
Like I said, I've known her for years, so it's just being with my mate who's going places. That's the way I see it.
What are your thoughts about the return of World of Sport? I think and you in it. I think they should fit into that, but they haven't done. I don't know unless you're going to break some news out, but coming back.
No, I'm not at World of Sport. I don't think I'm there for that on World of Sport. I mean, I'd love just to be go on there and be an enhancement wrestler, you know, put someone over. I'd love to do that. But it's great. It's great for England to have a big wrestling company that's on TV. I'm sure they'll get plenty of exposure. But I did hear it's not going to be on TV. You've got to subscribe to it or something to see it, which is a bit naff, really, isn't it, when they're doing it like that, because they're kind of restricting the audience there. But I wish it all the best, and hopefully it grows and gets back on normal telly one day.
Well, I suppose you understand that 2024, everybody lives on social media, so put it on. Who watches TV nowadays? Live TV? Not many people. I don't watch live, unless it's wrestling. I don't watch live TV.
Same.
So I suppose that's their audience, social media. So, and I believe that Nightshade and Sheikh El Sham are doing it. Have you had a chance to work with Sheikh? And if so, how was that?
I have actually. I've had him. To be fair, I've had him on This Is Wrestling a few times. I actually wrestled him a few times at Pro Wrestling for You. Well, I think that's it. Yeah, it's a great guy to wrestle. He understands it and is in phenomenal shape. He's really funny as well, to be honest with you. He's a really funny guy.
In sleep? Has he gone to sleep? I'm trying to make a wrestling pun there.
No.
Just,
just paying attention. No, just listening to the whole thing. So when is your next show, Drill?
Right then. Oh, sorry.
I was not.
Oh. What's going on?
It's all crazy here sometimes. Drill, when is your next show?
My wrestling show or me wrestling?
You wrestling on any show really in particular?
Well, I got offered a booking when I was on holiday, so I don't have nothing until actually my wrestling show now, even though I'm not even wrestling on it. So I'm not entirely sure. Maybe in the middle of next month.
Have you tried expanding out into Europe besides the UK?
I tried once through a good friend of mine, Dan Evans, to see if he could get me through Scandinavia and that. But I'll be honest with you, I don't really have ambitions to really go and wrestle in Europe. I hate travelling. That's my big ick. I hate travelling. If it's more than an hour away, it stresses me out.
So you're not a great flyer or person on a train?
No, I drive. So I drive myself anyway. But it's very rare I go on a plane. I've literally been on holiday. This will be my third time ever in my life.
So
any dream opponents from the UK scene?
From the UK scene, dream opponents to WWE, that was because they're always strong.
Say that again.
Any dream opponents from the UK?
Right.
This is the last question.
I'd love to wrestle Grado.
Oh, that'd be good.
I think our characters would mix very well.
Would you wrestle Ryan Lowe?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
That would be a good match.
I'd have a go.
That'd be a clash of styles. All right, back to you, Ricky.
You and the tag team partner takes on the brand. I think the brand are good. They've only been together a year, I think, and they seem to be getting booked everywhere. So I
do actually have a tag team partner.
Who is it? Is it a Mr.? Oh, Jack Johnson, of course. Yes, of course.
No. It's not Jack Johnson. I was I actually started off as a tag team wrestler, believe it or not. For the first 3 years, I was just tag team wrestling.
Is that because you're not going to get hurt as much doing that because someone else is taking the bumps and someone else is taking the off? They can make you look good, get the hot tag, and in you go.
Unfortunately not, because he's a lot bigger than me. So I was the one getting bumped about.
Do you prefer taking on the smaller guys, somebody like, I suppose Jack Johnson's size, or somebody like Andrew Jepson, who is huge? Which style would you prefer to take? Which person would you prefer to take on, smaller guy or the bigger guy?
It's a tough one, that, you know. Do you know what? They both have the positives and negatives, but I think wrestling the smaller guys is a lot more fun because I personally could probably do a lot more with the smaller guys than a bigger guy.
It's because they bump a lot more rather than like somebody like Andrew Jepson isn't going to bump much at all, is he? He's just going to want to dominate and make himself look good. Because he's not. Because from what I've seen, he's not the best. He's okay in the ring, but seems to be still quite green and still maybe just doesn't get it yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, as you mentioned, you've got a show, so I'll put the poster up and the link. So August 4th, Sons of Ormskirk, and I've checked Sins of Ormskirk, sorry.
Sins, yeah.
And I checked. Ormskirk's only like an hour away from me, so I will probably come to a show. I won't be coming to that one because I've got SummerSlam watch party the night after. But hold on. Give me a second. So, do you want to tell people about the show?
Yeah, so it's called Sins of Ormskirk. We start 3 doors open for VIPs, $2.25, and then standard let in about 15 minutes later, maybe $2.22. Isaac is going to wrestle Phil Michaels, which if he's at the last show, you'd have known this. So it's not really a secret, that one. And then we've already announced a couple of matches already. Tag team match, we've got Merseyside Mercenaries versus Tequila Slammers. That happened because Scott Oberman challenged Sandy Beach to put his he didn't challenge him. He said, if I win this match, I want to be the new number 1 contender. So obviously Scott ended up going over, and we've announced the Jacob North match as well. I think. No, have I done that wrong?
You know the card.
The thing is, you know, I struggle to forget who I've released and stuff like that. Now, let me have a quick check, so I'm not really revealed. Oh, it's the Sonny Durson match. Sorry, I take it back. See, I didn't reveal nothing then. So we've got Sonny Durson versus CP Riley. CP Riley's just joined in with Jacob North and Ethan Kelly's faction. So that's looking very interesting. After Sonny Durson wrestled Jacob North on the last show for his briefcase, which Jacob North stole. It was on a pole match, but it was a really good show, the last show. Plus, Helen will be there as well. As you can see, is she on the poster? No. Yeah, she's on the poster. Joey Hayes, DDL, and loads of other of your favourite stars as well. Obviously, we've got a debut there as well. So So yeah.
Tony Wright. Is that Tony Wright?
Yeah, Tony Wright's on there.
So you've got a wealth of talent there. You've got Tony Wright, who seems to be getting booked everywhere, doing very well for himself. He was a champion in UBW or whatever they're called now. Bolton Town, not Bolton Town, Burnley Town Wrestling, whatever name they're giving themselves, it's still the same company, just renamed. Jacob North is good. Isaac North is phenomenal. Ellen, HCC, I forgot his middle name. Call her HCC.
Ellen Charlotte
she's
Campbell.
good. She's just a middle name. So she's a brawler, gets in there, just wants to kill her opponent. Sonna Durson's really good. He's had some phenomenal matches at Future Shock and at the TNT. Stocks, you've got Stocks on the show, who I think is a really good face, but a absolutely evil heel in the Black Sheep. And Dan Evans is good. Scott Oberman is so a really good.
It's a solid show. What more can I say? It's a solid show, and I think if you don't buy a ticket and come and watch, you're going to miss out on a really good show that's going to go down on the Sunday.
Well, like I said, I'll unfortunately be at SummerSlam watch party the night after. So when is the next show after August?
So it is. Just give me 1 second, because I've got a memory like a fish. It is October the 13th. And that'll be our last show of the year. It's a Sunday. They're always Sundays.
I'll come to that one then, because I do want to go to as many companies as I can. I do love BTW, Wrestle Island, and LWF, but do want to go tomorrow, so I will probably be at that one, definitely. So yeah, well, like I said, it's only an hour away from me on a train.
Yeah, well, I will say you're probably picking the right show for that one, because that'll be an accumulation of everything that we've been doing through the year. So you may not get the storylines, but I'm sure when you've been and seen the matches, you'll be like, I know how this guy hates this guy. I know what's happened here. And I'm sure it won't take you long before you understand what's going on.
Yeah. Ian, Blair, I thought you were backstage. Jesus. Any more questions?
Simple question, really. What would you say to anyone who's inspiring to be a wrestler? That's my only question there.
So if you want to be an inspiring wrestler, you want to get into wrestling, do your research. Don't just go to the closest school to you. Make sure you've checked a few out around you. Go to the gym. Learn off many people as you can as possible. And don't let anyone push you around.
Any diets you should take going into wrestling, or any particular diets?
Not really. My biggest thing I like to push is just look like you train. Look like you go to the gym.
So how do I look? How do I look like The Rock? Is that I never?
Steroids. Plenty of steroids.
Oh, definitely there.
just eat them.
Oh, definitely take them steroids there. Well, don't be careful though. Don't take the kind of voice that led to what happened to Chris Benoit. So let's really not cross that path.
Don't abuse him. Don't abuse him. But take steroids. Get your bloods. Get them done.
Well, Rock. I presume The Rock is on like healthy steroids because he's super healthy. So
steroids are steroids at the end of the day. You have to really be careful.
The Rock's definitely on growth hormone.
Oh, he's on bull hormones.
You You can't be like that just by living in the gym and eating very healthy.
Well, yeah. Money
testicles,
helps, doesn't it?
That's his diet.
Shark testicles.
So you said you were going on holidays out. So you're going to Spain. Is that for a week or 2?
No, it's just for a week. That.
Handle 2 weeks. Get out of this horrible weather that we're having. It's meant to be warm, but.
Well, we had good summer last week. I really like the hot weather because I can put my washing out line. Still, I think it's good for.
One day of hot weather. That's it. That's all we get.
That's all I need. Especially
Blink
my
and you miss
complexion,
it.
I'll burn.
That was our summer for one day. It's not so bad today, but it's not exactly warm for July. We're in July now.
It's been raining all day.
So I know you don't watch. We be watching Money in the Bank and Heat Wave this weekend, or do you not even watch the pay-per-views now?
No, I've no interest. But I will say one thing though. I may start watching it when it goes on Netflix, but who knows?
It's gonna go no longer PG then, isn't it? Apparently, so
that's it. That's why I stopped watching it, because I'm not into the PG stuff. I think it killed it off and it made it too corny. But if it does it a bit like the Attitude Era, it may draw me back in.
Yeah.
So you want the wrestling more edgy?
Yeah, but not like AEW, because AEW is it's got its crowd, but I like wrestling to make sense.
Yeah, it does.
So it's more like you're more like underground of British wrestling than American wrestling.
Yeah.
Do you watch Japanese wrestling?
No. I used to watch. What is it? What's the yearly thing? Is it Kingdom Wrestling?
Yeah, and there's also the New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, no, I mean the like New Japan Pro Wrestling's like big WrestleMania show.
Oh, Wrestle Kingdom, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah. I watched that every year, but then I got bored of watching that because there was just way too many matches on it, and I was like, oh, it's boring. This. It's doing me head.
There's going to be like a dynasty of AEW, New Japan, and CML and Stardom in January 1st.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a long show to me.
And Ian, I don't watch AEW. I watch the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I'm just like you. I'm not a big fan of AEW. I watch the pay-per-views, and even there, okay. But Ian watched the Forbidden Door, and there was 15 matches.
Wow.
15 matches, I know. It's like trying to watch all 3 extended edition of Lord of the Rings together.
Ugh. The movies alone are just enough.
I live and breathe wrestling. Yeah. And for me to want 15 matches should be heaven, absolute heaven to me. Yeah, 15 matches, great. That just sounds awful. Like that, AEW's not doing a good job. It never leaves me wanting more, ever. I want to see less of it.
Yeah.
So that's job. Really bad.
See, that's what I try to do with This Is Wrestling.
Don't want to watch any more of that. See them wanting more. Yeah, that's what they should do.
That's it.
I've never been to an indie show and thought, I've never been to an indie show and thought, I don't want to see any more than that. Or I never watched WWE and thought, well, that's enough. I don't want to watch that anymore. Leave them wanting more. Pull them back. Draw them back.
100%. I agree with you.
Tony Khan doesn't get that at all. It's just he caters to a very, very small, tiny audience, and that's it. Like it's just never gonna grow ever.
Well, I'd have to take your word on that one because I don't watch it.
Neither do I, but obviously I'm aware of what audience he caters. One of his tweets was, "I'm a sicko booking for sickos." Ugh, that's their audience.
Well, like sickos is not like, it depends on the definition of a sicko, because they're different kind of sickos.
I suppose.
A definition of a sicko
is
they're
sickos
is
are
a,
into
is a
we're not going to talk about on here.
A sicko is a perverted, mentally ill person by definition. So that's the audience he's.
Yeah, but like for most sickos, like not all sickos are violent. More sickos are into other things I'm not going to really talk about on this channel. They're a bit too illegal.
Right. We'll be rolled. We'll be rolled. If he can get started, we'll be here all day. We'll be here till WrestleMania.
Yeah, we won't. Just point that out.
Right, okay. You like to talk. You like to talk. So yeah, check out This Is Wrestling. So this is the logo you're looking out for This Is Wrestling. So link up. So how much? I don't know if it says on that poster how much tickets are. It might do. But how much are tickets?
Yeah, they do. So we've got different tiers of tickets. Okay. So for a child, it's £6 under 16. Then for an adult, it's £10, and then a family ticket is £25, which is 2 adults, 2 kids, obviously under 16. And then we do the VIP tickets. So then it's £10 for a child, £15 for an adult, £40 for a family. But with the VIP tickets, you get early entry. Everyone gets a free raffle strip. If we've got posters left over, you get a free poster. You get an in-ring photo with the wrestlers for free. What else do you? I think that's it. I think that's all you get.
Wow. Well, most VIP just do early entry, and that's it. I think the Wrestle Island just do. And I'm not complaining. I'm not saying Wrestle Island are bad for doing this. They just do like a dark match, not a dark match, but a match a dark match. That's all I can describe it as.
You get meet and greet as well, though, don't you, at the beginning?
Yeah, but so a free raffle ticket, posters, and in-ring photo. I'm definitely getting a VIP ticket for October. Definitely,
and the guaranteed front row seat as well. Don't forget that. That's important as well.
I think I've only ever sat front row. I've sat front row for the last BTW, but I usually like to sit behind people, just keep myself to myself.
Well, you get
one front row.
You sit where you want.
Yeah, one front row is like
you don't have to sit
people talking. People are talking to me and just no. Unless they talk about Roman Reigns, I don't want to know. So yeah. I'll definitely be there in October. Definitely be getting a VIP ticket, and definitely hopefully catch you at the next. So where you wrestling next? You would be BTW after you come back from holiday. Is it BTW or Wrestle Island or elsewhere?
Let me just check my calendar for you. So I've got Wrestle Island on the 15th. Will be my next one.
Is that August?
September. No, September.
Right. Give me
my diary's not busy after September. After my holiday, so it is what it is. I'm sure I've got some multiple wrestling dates in there.
I was just looking at my calendar on my phone. Then 15th is a Sunday, so that's probably when it is. So you've got that's perfect then. So I can do Wrestle Island on the 15th, and then This Is Wrestling on the 13th. So perfect. Yeah. So it's usually it's like I want to go to all of these companies, all of these shows, but it's like money mainly, and like LWF and BTW are double booked the same day, so I'm doing LWF, but. Is what it is, I suppose. if I was a millionaire, I'd be at every single show ever. I'd be doing 20 shows a month. I do about 4 or 5 shows a month, maybe. It's usually 3 a month without fail, but I would be doing like 50 a month if I had the money.
I've seen people who go to 3 shows every weekend. I'm like, how do you afford it? I'm all for it, supporting the promotions and being everywhere. But I'm like, how do you afford it? Honestly, it's a lot of traveling as well.
Yeah, travel. Like I said, I love wrestling, so it is what it is. Ian, any last few questions? I'll try to unmute you. You've muted yourself.
I know, I'm all right.
In a YouTube video on how to use modern technology.
Yeah,
because he muted himself, and it is what it is. But
I chose to mute myself.
So enjoy your holiday. Okay. So enjoy your holiday. Again, I'll put up this one last second. EMI. It's frozen on me. Oh. Fine, this is wrestling just at the bottom. This is frozen on me. Ian, wake up. No. He's asleep.
No, I'm awake.
I'll do it. Oh, there, I found it.
Oh, hang on. Maybe you didn't.
Right, I've done it anyway. I've done it. So yeah, this is wrestling. That's the Facebook link. So that will see you to tickets August 4th. So for those going to watch SummerSlam, you can then go to watch wrestling the night after. And then obviously the next show, like Driller said, October 13th, I will be there. Get a VIP ticket. It sounds fantastic. And yeah. So thank you for doing this and enjoy your holiday. And yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming on, and I very much appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, Drill. It was a good interview.
And
thank you, no problem.
I appreciate that you did this. You took your time to do this. Yeah, I very, very much appreciate it that you took an hour out of your life to do this. You didn't need to do this, but yeah, thank you.
No worries. Appreciate it.
And I'll see you at WrestleLand on the 15th of September.
Hopefully, yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, that went well.
Sorry about that. So yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, 15th of September. Everybody get their tickets. Get there. Get the hot sausage rolls. £2.50. Very nice. I can't recommend them enough. Get there. Get them. Wrestle Island, place to be. September 15th. Everybody else cancel all plans. Whatever you're doing, get to Wrestle Island on the 15th. Still see Drill, see RPD, Lucy Sky, Tyler Adams, and everybody else in action. Yeah. And once again, thank you, and I'll see you on the 15th, Drill.
See you on the 15th, pal. See you later.
Let's look on the 15th.
Good. Right, see you. Bye.
That went well.
So, TJ is going to be about 10 minutes late. So we'll slowly do stuff until he comes on, and the first.
Hang on. Well, I suppose we're going to start with.
Where are we? Jesus.
Yeah. I suppose we're going to start with.
Announce what the segment is after
So, what's cooking at the table? Hello?
So, what have I been up to? I'll slowly say this until TTG gets on, but obviously I've been to the gym, as always, each and every week. I tried to get WWE tickets today, but they're just not available for some weird reason.
Sold out?
Been to my craft class. No, they're even sold out. We weren't even, because it came on sale today. You can't find it. I'll look again later or get my mum to look.
I was looking to get something around my birthday, so I'll definitely go for their show in the Tree Arena in November.
So I don't think okay, if TJ's not coming on, that's fine. Okay, then. So at least you let me know. So we can just kind of carry on as normal. So again, I make this stuff for me. If you can read it, great. If you can't, no, that's not my problem. So a voting thing. It's voting day here in the UK. In the UK tomorrow. I'm voting for Roman Reigns. I think I'm better voting for somebody that isn't even running. Never mind.
I'm voting for nobody.
It's bad choice versus bad choice.
Giant douche versus turd sandwich. As South Park says.
It's bad choice versus bad choice. Anyway, match cards. So money in the bank and Heatwave. I make my own match cards and a rum. These are buttons. These actually stayed on. I usually have to stick them on with sellotape, but they stayed on. But a Roman Reigns like button picture. So if you like that, great. If you don't, I don't care. I did it for me. So I think that's it. Yeah, been to the gym.
Yeah, moving on.
Crafting, and try to get a ticket. Hopefully, get a ticket. If I don't, so what have you been up to since last week?
Quite on my end. I'm nearly finished my job, so I'm taking a break here and there because I have days to use up. So just chilling and trying to sort out a few things. So it's all good. It's all quiet on my. So it's quiet.
So I'm now gonna have to remember. I'm now gonna have to remember the movies I've watched. Because it is time for this right here.
Hello?
Movie talk. So this is the end. We start from okay. Why can't I remember? I'm gonna have to look on Facebook. Give me a second. Give me 1 second.
You can check your watch history on Netflix. Check your watch history.
Well, I've just got the. Yeah, but that's upstairs. That's putting on my TV and. So Masterminds, Netflix, very funny film, and also on Netflix, great film, Shot Caller, fantastic movie. Yeah, those are the movies I've been watching. Time I'll be going to cinema is November to see The Final Boss, The Rock, in Red One, and I think Moana 2 comes out in November. So I'll be there watching that. Otherwise, I'll be there watching Red One. But I know that you've been to watch Bad Boys, Ride or Die. I'll watch that on.
Will Smith is still a draw, despite all the bad stuff he's done recently. He's still a draw.
Why not? Why would he not be?
Well, he did slap someone in public. He did slap someone in public.
Yeah, but was that real?
No, that was real.
Was that not?
That was definitely real.
Was it? Yeah.
Manipulated by Jada.
People say it's
although he did get slapped.
Some people say it's
comes around.
Some said it's set up. Some have said it's not. So whatever. That's another thing for another day. I'm not really that interested. But
next film on my list, I want to see the Beverly Hills Cop movie.
That's on Netflix on Friday. I'll be watching.
Yeah,
that.
you a fan of Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, he's made some good films. The
Professor. Yeah, he is very funny.
Beverly Hills Movies, Dr. Dolittle, Shrek. He's Donkey in Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek.
That's all he's, but still, it's still funny.
And the less said about Norbit, the better.
Right, what? Oh, Norbit. I don't think I've seen that. So.
Terrible movie.
I bet when he saw our head, he didn't think it was terrible. But the next thing is I'm going to have to get a poster for it. So give me 30 seconds because I've got a poster to show. So 30 seconds. So, of course, I have been to a show, so I'll just play this. I've got a poster that I picked up, got signed. I'll show that in a second.
All right, took care of that for you.
There we are. Thank you. So, Wrestling Days out with Ricky Goldman. I went to Top Rope Wrestling. Good show. Local, but to come by a bus ride away from me. Got a poster for it, got it signed, so free, why not? So that goes into my wrestling collection of about 10 million other pieces of merch.
Posters, you know the poster from This Is Wrestling that you played earlier on?
Yeah.
Didn't one
You say that?
Didn't one of the guys on the This Is Wrestling poster nearly look like Joe Gacy?
He could have done. Oh no, I've still got it. You're on about. Give me a second.
He nearly did look like Joe Gacy. I was just looking at the poster there.
So.
It's nearly one of them. It's one of the other posters you put up as well. There's another poster you put up as well, and one of them nearly looks like Joe Gacy.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, the guy there in the middle there. That nearly looks. Yeah, the Merseyside Murder Squad. The guy there on the second guy beside the long blonde hair looks like
Dan Evans.
Looks like
suppose
Dan Evans. Looks like Joe Gacy.
Suppose he does a little bit, I suppose.
He looks like Joe Gacy.
Back's killing me. Jesus Christ. So it is. So yeah, good show. It was a good show. My next one is this weekend. So in between Money in the Bank Wave, GPW, Great British Beatdown. Looks like a fantastic card. I think they might still have tickets left. So anybody watching, get yourself to Hindley Sunday evening. Well, 3:00 start. So Sunday. Yeah, that's my next show. And then the 14th for Wrestle Island, 20th for LWF. So a busy month. Money in the Bank Heatwave. 3. I think they've got a little bit of a headache. So we get a drink, but play this voice. So that is right. Protein Tees, Gulman's. As I always say, you can't buy a t-shirt. That's fine. Get it shared. All my socials on screen right now. And gone. So, of course, next up is...
Quick on my fingers.
So I'll put up the banner. But of course it is Wrestling Roundup. Wrestling Roundup, as Vince McMahon would say. So something we didn't mention last week, but happened on this week on Raw, and this is I'll just quickly mention it, is the Sister Abigail stuff. Obviously, we didn't mention that on Raw last week, but it happened again this week, so we'll just cover it then. Forbidden Door, I didn't watch. 15 matches just sounds hell to me, and it shouldn't do. That should sound like heaven to me.
So should we just talk about what was going down on SmackDown and Raw?
Just a few quick thoughts, just a few quick comments on. Forbidden Door. Did you enjoy it? Was it good?
I enjoyed Will Ospreay versus Swerve now. That was a very good match. Everyone was going in with the thought that Ospreay was going to win, but it was Swerve. And Ospreay has admitted that he wanted Swerve to win. He felt out of respect that the champion should have a long title reign, and he is right there because Swerve is just a great performer. The other talking point, we saw the return of Britt Baker to AEW. She got involved after Mercedes Moné won the New Japan Strong title. So now we're going to go into a Britt Baker, Mercedes Moné feud, possibly at All In when we get to London. My only concern about it is that they don't do the same thing what they did with Britt Baker and Saraya when Saraya debuted, and you have Britt Baker saying, "Oh, you just came in from the other company. I am the queen bee around here. I want this just to be about wrestling and not about where they came from."
Fair enough. So one on the WWE side of things, of course, is that last quick show. Speed. Nathan Fraser knocked off Akira Tozawa. Cool. He now faces Xavier Woods this week. The winner of that will advance to face Andrade on Friday. So Andrade will retain there. Then, yeah, I'll look at that later. So let's give you the side of things. What we'll do is do something new here. We'll do Rampage, Dynamite Rampage, all three
Dynamite
shows
Rampage
together,
collision.
and then we'll move on to the all together, and then we'll move on to the WWE side of each every week. I do not watch purely based off results. So Dynamite saw your on the winner side of things, Jesus, I can't even read it. LIG, JY, Tony Storm, Mariah May, Zack Sabre Jr., and Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. The losers of those, BCC by DQ, Ray Phoenix, The Outcast, Kel O'Reilly, Gates of Agony, and that's it. Your quick thoughts on Dynamite?
Well, I missed a good bit of Dynamite because I've been away the past week, so I have a good bit to catch up there. So I've mostly been watching SmackDown and Raw and NXT.
On the show named after one of the Rock's movies, I don't think it is. I don't think it would do why they chose it, but it is. So we'll start with the losers, and they were the Outrunners, the Infantry, AR Fox, Dalton Castle, and Sky Blue. The winners of those, Orange Cassidy, Gabe Kidd. If that's Gabriel Kidd, that's cool for him. I know of Gabriel Kidd. I think he's from the UK.
Yeah, Gabe Kidd. No, it's Gabe Kidd.
Is that not Gabriel Kidd? Is he not Gabriel?
No, somebody else.
Gabriel Kidd. Okay then. And Roderick Strong, El Phantasmo, and Shinjigo Tagaake. They're your winners. Oh, and Queen Amanita. Queen Amanita, obviously, she's been a jobber. And I'll get your thoughts after Collision. So the show of Collision saw Orange Cassidy and Ishii worked together to defeat TMDK. Lady Frost lost to Stephanie the queer Vaquer. Vaquer, however you pronounce that.
Vaquer.
That, yeah. Did the job for Daniel Garcia. Hikaru Shida is back into winning ways, and she knocked off Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna Purrazzo was a big deal when she came to AEW, and now,
Vaccine.
And Pere El Fantasma, I butcher his name each and every time. Katie, I'll call him, the family. I believe they're called the family, I think.
Inosuke Takeshita.
Him went over Mark Briscoe, Leo Rush, and Dante Chen. So I'm just gonna rate all three at once. I'll give it a silver, but that's all three rated rather than.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Your thoughts on Rampage and Collision?
I have a lot of AEW to catch up on because I was away. I did watch the Forbidden Door, but I got with SmackDown and Raw.
So, talking about the show on Friday night, it's a show that is down and does the smack. Of course, SmackDown. The ending, wow, cinema, pure cinema. But let's go through. So the Bloodline came out. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens brawled. This is just to hype up their match. Nick Aldis came out with Takuti. Takuti got beat up. And then Orton, Cody, Owens cut a promo. Yeah, your thoughts?
Yeah, it had to be done. You had to see after the attack on the SmackDown after Clash the Castle with Jacob Fatu, you had to see the faces get some form of retaliation against the Bloodline. My only hope was that during it, that Nick Aldis would announce that at Money in the Bank, the match will be a street fight.
Maybe,
and Tonga Loa taking on Cody, Randy, and Kevin at Money in the Bank.
Triple threat action, saw Tiffany Stratton, and this was a good match. I know the other match was good. See, I like the fact that it's triple threat. That it feels more of a fight, gets more people.
Yeah, maybe one year you do triple threat, and then the next year you do fatal four-way type matches.
Maybe. I think Money in the Bank could run its course anyway, but that's just me.
No, I don't. No, I think it'd be very hard to replace at the moment. I think it's like they need to just keep making it worth it by having good cash-in moments for the wrestlers, and then it will be still worth its while. Because unless you find something to replace it, you're just going to have to leave it the way it is.
I would have done what you said last week and have it going after any champion, but give me LA Knight, for example, will go backstage and say to Nick Aldis, I want to face Logan Paul. Okay, he's done. Why does he then need to go through a ladder match to go and face Logan Paul?
Because the SmackDown side of things, there's only two heels, so you need one face in there as well. And LA Knight.
That was an example. Anybody, okay, whoever. That was just an example. Yeah. The Rock. Let's use The Rock. He's not mean ladder match, but why would he come back? If winner could get any title shot, why would The Rock have to go through a ladder match to go and face Logan Paul? He just go, I want to face Logan Paul. Done. That's how matches are done now. Just a wrestler gets attacked. That's your storyline. Let's build from there. Anyway, I like that the triple threat matches. Feels a lot more of a fight. Tiffany Stratton advance, knocking off Candice LeRae and Jade Cargill. Yeah, good match.
Yeah, they seem to be going back to the Jade Cargill Nia Jax feud. Because we had Nia Jax come out, and then we had Bianca, and then Indy Hartwell pushes Jade Cargill into the rope. Candice misses the moonsault. Tiffany gets the win. Tiffany's definitely one of the favorites going in. I'll give my opinions on that one later. But yeah, it was fine. And there seems to be building back up the relationship between Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. So that could play into it, leading into Nia Jax's title match at SummerSlam with Bayley.
Oh, yeah. LA Knight, also in triple threat action. Pin Logan Paul. That's only good for LA Knight. Santos, I would have had Santos winning this. Why not? But
no, but the problem is, you see, on both sides of the coin, you have two heels on Raw and one face, and two heels on SmackDown and one face. So you need to add at least one face into the mix to pose. Like, can the face do it? Can LA Knight cash in Money in the Bank and maybe cash in for a shot with Logan Paul. Like, I'll give my rankings on who I think is the favorite. Probably not. No, you probably don't want to have a mid-card title.
Zero. It makes no sense. Like I've said, he's got to look Cards and say, "I want a match with Logan Paul." Done. Why does he need to go through a ladder match to get that?
It builds more like you have LA Knight. You have LA Knight pin Logan Paul, gives him a bit of momentum for the potential match at SummerSlam. Knight, to many, could be an early favourite for Money in the Bank, but possible chance Logan Paul will play his part in the match by costing LA, by screwing LA.
And this is a match I thought was good because he just didn't know who was going to win. They all looked good in it. I would have.
Oh, they did. Yes, they all did. Like all three of them were in Money in the Bank last year.
Blair Davenport, I would have had win definitely, but Naomi took the win against Blair Davenport and Indy Hartwell. For me, Blair should have won. Why not? Naomi's
that was
not
Blair's
a star.
First match on SmackDown, wasn't it?
Yeah, no one's watching Money in the Bank because Naomi's on it.
Well, they brought back Naomi in January, and she had to take a couple of losses for a while because she probably had to take the punishment for the walkout that she did in 2022. She seems to be earning the trust back of Triple H, so you kind of need her as well for a few stuff. She could have a few spots from the top of the ladder or from the rope as well, and you can work those spots with people like Tiffany Stratton and Io Sky, because they'll be the fun spots of the Money in the Bank ladder match for the women.
If I was booking it, Blair would have been straight in there, but fair enough. And let's talk about what the world is talking about.
You need a few well-known faces. Like at the moment, not many people probably don't know about Blair Davenport because they didn't watch her on NXT. So you need Naomi to help. You need Naomi to help sell a bit of the match because she doesn't get enough recognition. She didn't get enough recognition to WWE, but you need someone who some people will know to play a part in it to help elevate the newer talent like a Tiffany Stratton.
No one's watching Money in the Bank for Naomi. If I wasn't, someone said, "Oh, Naomi's on," is she? Gotta watch that. I couldn't care less. No one's watching because Naomi's there. Again, the big thing, the whole thing wouldn't start. If I said any random person, name me a wrestler, Naomi wouldn't even come in the top 100, I would imagine. Like I said, they probably struggle after 10, I would imagine. Anyway, while the world is talking about, the bloodline comes out. Jacob Fatu did. Solo wants to be acknowledged. They destroy Heyman. The hula fell around Solo's neck. He's your new tribal chief, your new head of the table. Wow. And I was going to say this.
It was done actually to perfection. I'll give it that. I did enjoy it now. Sorry, go on.
I'm going to say this little bit and just move on. Cody, once again, overlooked. Yes, he was on the show, but he's not the main event. And the main event could be a spot, a promo, a segment. It's still the main event spot. It's still ending the show. So, as much as I love what they're doing with the bloodline, it's you're building somebody that's not even there. And Reigns is going to come back and probably now we'll get into you want to make Solo the guy. He beats Cody at SummerSlam. Then you have Reigns, so he's holding up the title. Reigns comes out to claim his title back. You do Reigns Solo, Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood, and Solo wins that. War Games, Reigns wins that. And then Reigns wins the title back at the Rumble. The Rock wins the Rumble as a heel, and you get Rock Reigns at Mania. That's how I would book it.
Is that Mania 42 then? Rock and Reigns?
41. No, next year. Reigns wins the title at the Rumble. The Rock wins the Rumble.
One thing that
as being a heel, he tells me because he can be really good. The Rock has to do very little. He can come in at number 30 and tell everybody to get out because he's the boss. He runs it. He could even win it by just his people just stepping over the ropes, and that's it. He just stands there. Total heel hate. There you go. You've got Rock Reigns.
Just to go back on the closing segment with the bloodline, the one thing that really, like, Paul Heyman is dedicated. Like, he didn't look like he had slept for a week. He hadn't shaved. He had bloodshot eyes. That's like somebody who hasn't slept for a couple of days and living off coffee. And at 58 years old, he gets put through a table. Like, you have to give fair play to his body of endurance that he can get. He's 58 and he got put through a table. Like, fair play.
Because he hasn't slept. I think it's been reported that he's deprived himself of sleep, which
I suppose like that's what his character.
Which is genius. Which is just genius. That's what he does to sell a storyline.
He have to give you.
He does look a mess.
I love sleep. I love sleep. I just can't deprive myself of sleep. I have to have some sleep.
But you're not in WWE selling a storyline that's going to make a lot of money. So Paul Heyman is looking at those dollar signs. Oh, we're going to make a lot of money with this story.
Very good job of it. One thing, actually, there's one thing. Sorry.
Make a lot of money with this storyline. When Reigns comes back, it'll be a big return. Heyman's going to come out. See, that's what I would do. You have Solo win. Heyman comes out, and Solo looks at him like, and then Reigns returns. There you go.
No, I don't think Solo's not ready for the title yet. You can do Reigns versus. Once they've done the program with Cody, we've done Solo and Cody. Have Cody move to Randy and Solo build up a bit more, and then you give him Roman because he'll be coming off the title feud then. So you don't want him to have to lose another feud after a feud with Cody for the title. But there's one thing we should point out as well, because we haven't pointed this out since we've done the podcast. And this is one thing WWE has always been great on: video packages. The video package for Sika was brilliant.
Definitely. Well, their production is next to nothing. They know that.
I know, like, when we get to Raw, like, I want to point out something about Raw as well that points into the.
Their video packages are so good. They sometimes has me questioning these people. Like Stacey Keibler does not deserve the Hall of Fame. I looked at her video package and thought, does she deserve it? It got me questioning. So that's how good they are.
But that's the thing, like, of the Triple H era, like, and it shows that he's more determined to make WWE more like the sport of pro wrestling than sports entertainment. It's the video package he's done, and I'll point that out when we talk about Raw when we get to the main event of Raw.
Some rating for SmackDown: Silver Plus to Gold. Definitely, your rating for it.
I'm going to say Gold as well. I'm going to say Gold as well for the closing and opening Bloodline segments and the 2 triple threat matches. The only thing was, a lot of people were pissed off that Fox was censoring some of the swearing that was going on from talent and from crowds after those 2 Bloodline segments.
Yeah. So we go to the show that has 3 matches on. I know you don't watch it, Ian, but I do want to get your thoughts on the last match on here, and that is Level Up. So Riley Osborne defeated Jasper Troy. Jasmine Nix, who seems to be racking up the wins, got a win against Kendall Gray, and Dante Chen knocked off Miles Bourne. Your thoughts on Dante Chen's continued push?
He seems to have gone off the radar now after the Lexus King feud, so now he's back on Level Up. So is that much really of a push?
It's still a win. It's a win. A win is a win.
Yeah.
But for Level Up, I will say, again, I like it. Fresh matches. Sometimes it makes a little bit of sense. People get pushed, they'll say silver. So the Monday night show that is uncut, and that is Raw. Sorry. Where are we?
We're on Raw.
So you got Corey Graves on commentary. I think Corey Graves and Michael Cole work well together.
Yeah, Pat McAfee was with his family because of the death of his father-in-law.
Got ladders on this. This is no real breaking news or anything, but you had ladders on the stage. That's just for Money in the Bank. Jey Uso came out, and then Chad Gable did. Yeah, it was a nice back and forth of those. What do you think? What did you think of that?
Yeah, I enjoyed the little back and forth there, but it was the end. It was what came after that, being Wyatt 6.
That was good. And I don't know if you saw the thing that Gable said if he didn't sound back with WWE, he would have done movies. So I think he took his movie ideas, his movie ideas, and put them into wrestling.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, they seem to have done that. Like Nikki is doing really well as Abby the Witch. Like she brought the box and 2 security guards are lying there. Like one complaint a lot of people had is like, how were the security guards knocked out? And like you see the security guards there, and then Abby the Witch comes out and she delivers the tape. We'll get to the tape later.
Who's knocking those security guards out? Like,
well, Abby's a witch, so she's going to have some sort of little magic effect on them to put them asleep.
But like, with the package, what someone this was like genius. What someone pointed out, the way to 6 start with something very modern, the QR codes, and now they're using VHS tapes.
I know, yeah.
Okay. So you've gone from modern to super not modern.
Yeah, like Nikki does. Nikki is really doing some of the good work as Abby the Witch. Like she's very much taking inspiration from Carrie and The Ring. So I'm likely to see what she does with it next. I
did enjoy the Bordel's thing this week, and last week just left me confused. Was like, what's this? This week was better, I thought.
But we're getting an idea. Like he's talking about families, like. He's talking about the loss of his family member, and now he's seeing people squander their family. People like Jey Uso, people like Chad Gable, so they could be on the target come when we get to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Because I see the Wyatt Six playing some part in that during sex with Jey Uso and Chad Gable.
That's usually the Money in the Bank is just a throwaway. Like I couldn't name a good Money in the Bank match that was like, oh, that was good. I'd go back and see that. They're all decent, but they're not fantastically good. So this year you've got storyline. You've got Logan maybe going after Knight. The Bloodline could possibly go after Jey Uso. Wyatt Six go after Gable. Punk goes after Drew. Like, make it total mayhem. Just absolute mayhem. But a match that could have happened at Money in the Bank. Why did you just add this? I don't know. Liv Morgan's Lena Vega. Cool that Lena got the title shot. This was a good match. Of course, Liv retained. No shocker there.
It started like this was like these were the talking points of the whole show. Like this was the thing more people were looking into is the Liv Morgan Dom Mysterio, because we started off with Dom and Damien coming out, and Damien's asking, has he spoken to Liv? And he said, yeah, she's fine. And then he points out that I spoke to Liv and she's pissed off. You got to do something. Then they walk in and Liv Morgan is playing video games with Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Carlito. And Carlito has the funny spot there where he goes, oh, look, dude, I'm playing as you. And Damien is just wanting to shut the fuck up. And then they get Liv to leave. And then the other talking point with the Judgment Day is everything that's going on with Damian Priest and Finn Balor. And Balor is trying to convince Priest to let Liv into the Judgment Day. But he doesn't know, like, and Finn is pointing out, what's happened with you, Damien? You've changed. And we'll get to all that later. The first match wasn't the women's title match. It was Xavier Woods versus Karrion Kross.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay, then we'll cover that then. Yeah, I suppose Woods needed that win. I would have had Kross.
It was all right.
Kross win, but...
It was all right, but you have Kross defeat Kofi Kingston and then lose to Xavier Woods. Like, why can't he not beat both on this occasion? And then you have the Final Testament come in and literally destroy Kofi, nearly breaking his arm. Like, is Xavier going to finally leave Kofi Kingston? Is there any really, or should they save the breakup for when we get to the 10th anniversary of the New Day?
I don't know if I said this last week. I don't care. This New Day, maybe New Day split off is like one of the fist things on Raw. You've got Drew, you've got Punk, you've got Gunther, you've got the Judgment Day, you've got other stuff, and then you've got the New Day. So one of them turns heel, Woods turns heel on Kofi, beats him twice. Right, Kofi loses all the time. Vice versa, Woods loses all the time. Whoopee, and at least they've given him something, so that's that. But what I think they're going to do with... Well, we'll get to in your predictions, but I will say, I'm going to reveal now, I think Priest retains at Money in the Bank. So it's Gunther, Priest at SummerSlam. Gunther's going to heal it up further, and you're going to have Liv Ross into Judgment Day, and Priest won't like that. so that makes him less of a heel, and that's who he's gonna turn him face.
I will give my thoughts on that later when we do the predictions, because I have some thoughts of my own.
You like Priest and I like Gunther, neither should be losing, but one has to lose. So Seth Rollins. But speaking of your main events of Money in the Bank,
we had the Liv Morgan Zelina Vega match. Liv Morgan Zelina Vega. Before we get that wrong.
Your probable main event of Money in the Bank, unless a Bloodline main event, but we'll see. Seth Rollins came out. Finn Balor did. Priest did. South of Heaven twins. Basically, just hypes up the match. Yeah.
Yeah, this was they had a fine little standoff there. But just before we go back, we had Liv Morgan versus Zelina Vega. That was actually a very good match. Like, it started off a little slow, and then it just really picked up. Zelina Vega is really underrated in the ring. And then it was the drama that came outside with Ray and Dom Mysterio, because they were meeting later on the night. Dom gives Zelina the chair. Zelina doesn't want to use it. No, I don't want you to do that way. What the hell are you doing? Liv takes advantage of the distraction, hits the Oblivion, gets the pin, and then Liv comes off and say, they ask if things going her way. She says, "Yeah, this goes to my daddy Dom."
I did say about Liv Zelina earlier to admit, but yeah, they should be added to.
Liv has just really finally found a character to come into her own. She's finally found that character, a character for her own. And then just everything she's doing to really piss Rhea Ripley off, like saying "Liv on top," or the throw out she did in the baseball match and saying "Hi, Rhea." Like, we're really hoping for Rhea to come back at SummerSlam.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I certainly have, because I look at everything, what the commentators say, the slight words you might say, posters, the lot. But on the fan fest, Rhea's on there, so is she coming back for SummerSlam? Possibly.
I could see some interaction with Rhea and Liv at a fan fest.
Oh yeah, they could do something there, yeah. So your third and final women's triple threat Money in the Bank ladder match. It's a qualifying match. Zoe Stark, Dakota Kai, and somebody else that I forgot.
It was Ivy Nile.
Yeah, cool that Zoe won this. I don't mind Zoe going the entire way, but whatever. Yeah, good match, good win.
I was thinking maybe Dakota Kai should have actually won that one now, because last year at Money in the Bank, we had two members of Damage Control in there, that being Bayley and Io Sky. And then we had, like, Io Sky use the handcuffs to trap Bayley and Becky to climb the ladder and win. So, like, I was just thinking, could they not have two members of Damage Control in there? But no, you can't, because Damage Control at the moment seem to be falling apart, because during that match we had interference from the Party Girls taking out Kairi Sane and Dakota Kai, which allowed Zoe Stark to get that win there. And Dakota has kind of been pleading for a singles opportunity, and some people, the fans, are pleading for her to have a singles opportunity, but it's not really there at the moment because they are falling apart. But could we get Dakota Kai take out Io Sky before Money in the Bank?
You only got SmackDown, so no. I would say no.
Yeah, but it was fine. It was fine. There wasn't a big reaction compared to Liv and Zelina now, but, like, it was fine. It was fine. But, like,
Sami Zayn came out.
Braun Breaker would be the favorite to win on Saturday.
Sami Zayn came out. Braun Breaker did. Braun spears him. Basically hypes up their match.
Oh, this was brilliant. Like, this was one of the highlights. Was Braun was going for a second spear after the first. When Sammy rolls out, he goes for it. Sammy does a very good leapfrog, and Braun hits the top of the steel stairs. Like, that was very. You kind of remind me of Shane McMahon leapfrog or Super Mario leapfrog. And then he takes advantage of Braun, brawls on the announce table, throws him into the rope, goes for a Faluva kick, but then Braun gets the spear.
Yeah. And like, your third and final.
When we get to the pay-per-view, I'll talk about that later. But okay.
Your third and final on the men's side of things, that saw Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Ilya Dragunov. Your winner here, Drew McIntyre. I would have given it to Ilya, but it is what it is. I understand there's a storyline going on.
This was really good. This was hard hitting. And the one thing that hyped them up was the video packages for Sheamus, Ilya, and Drew. Like, there was some good video package for the three men there, but, like, Drew needs to be added into this one because you do one more bit of hype before SummerSlam for a potential match with Punk. And Drew has really been, like, Drew's been the star of Raw for the last few weeks after the draft, I think. Because like Raw was missing a few people for a while. They were missing Seth, they were missing Becky, they were missing Cody. Drew was one of those many people who stepped up as someone who on Raw.
And it shouldn't be that way. Drew should be the star, but it is what it is. So for Raw,
I would love to see. I hope
the rating for Raw Silver Plus, I thought it was a good one, a nice go-home show. Your rating for it?
I'd say Silver in a way. I thought like there was only 5 matches on the card, but there was more talking. But like on a Triple H house, when we get to this, like Triple H, he seems to have a style where the last show before the pay-per-view doesn't feel like a go-home show, but there are you do get some good matches at it. And the one thing with Drew was he said after the match's over, he says he's cashing in, and then he's cashing in, and he is going to show that he is the best in the world.
Okay. Go home SmackDown. Well, also go home SmackDown actually looks to be quite stacked. Anyway, the show of the end, the show of the X, and the show of the T. NXT saw Jada Parker. Great match to kick things off.
Just one more thing before we go back to two more things before we go back to Raw. Before we go to NXT. Great video package for Ludwig Kaiser. He seems to be really coming into his own after the split up for Imperium from Giovanni Vinci, who we haven't seen in a while. But like Kaiser has really come into his own. And like, were Raw stuck that they had to show what happened on SmackDown with the Bloodline? Were they stuck for time? I mean, it's a draft. Should they not be showing something connected to Raw?
Doesn't that just show that the Bloodline have just took over everything now? Like.
There's 5 matches only on Raw. I don't think we only talked about 4. Woods and Carrion, Liv and Zelina, the 2 triple. There was one more match I can't put my finger on. Oh, I'm sure it'll come back to me. Oh, Ray and Dom. We didn't cover Ray and Dom.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I would have had Dominic win that, but yeah, that was a good match.
Yeah, it was fine, but like it was what came after that got people talking was like Dom was on top of Liv. Well, just like and Liv, just like he's trying to break off and Liv won't let him go.
But yeah, so let's get to the show that everybody saw last night, and your opening match for spot into the nuts and bolts down. Good match.
Oh, this was a war.
Good win for Jada. She knocks off Michin in a street fight match over on NXT.
That was a fun match. A lot of people are questioning Michin's booking lately. Like they want to see her get a push, or maybe they see her let go or something. But like, I'd love to see Michin get a bit more.
The New Catch Republic took on Hank and Tank, just for Hank and Tank to take those on. Good for them.
Yeah.
But they took the L.
We haven't seen much of New Catch Republic on Raw now, so going to NXT for a while just gives them something to do, because I think there's no plan for pushing them in the tag division at the moment, because it seems to be Awesome Truth, Judgment Day, possibly the Creed brothers.
Maybe. And there was a match after that, and I've written down the initials, but what was it after that? After the tag team match? I can't remember.
We had the opening. We had the segment with Lola Vice and Roxanne Perez after.
There's a match before that, though, wasn't there?
I'll look it up now, but we'll go to the Roxanne Perez segment.
I'm sure there was a match beforehand.
I'll look it up now, hang on.
And it was, let me see. Brindley Reese and Easy Game. Easy Game knocked off.
Yes, that was.
Brindley Reese. So, Easy Game knocking off Brindley Reese. And now like they're giving a storyline for Izzy with Tatum Paxley. I do like that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, like, Tatum Paxley has really become her own. She's like very much like, I see now what they're doing with Tatum Paxley. She's like the NXT 2.0 version of Nikki Cross back in the Sanity days.
Yeah. So yeah, talking about Lola Vice and all that. Lola Vice came out because the promo Roxanne Perez did. This hypes up the match, and now
Lola Vice, Lola Vice got a
you're full clear face now. That's your face turn for Lola Vice, crying about her family. Yeah.
Lola Vice just really like hit a lot of heartstrings. A lot of people like it. Some thought it was a bit corny. Should she win the title?
Who's left?
I suppose that, and then you have the rematch in August, and then you can call Roxanne Perez up in September, after the August, if there's an August NXT.
It might be one before SummerSlam, maybe. So you had all men's to get the 1, get the 2, get the 3 against Miles Bourne. Cool, and I'll get your thoughts after this next match, which is Wendy Cho defeating Carly Bright. Really still don't get Wendy Cho's gimmick, but
it's obviously it's something creepy anyway. It's different than what she normally was, a sleepy child, but now she seems to have gone total creepy. Like, this is very Wyatt. This is kind of Wyatt creepy.
And before the contract signing, it was very, very woman heavy, wasn't it? You had quite a few.
Yeah, but we also had you forgot one match there. We had Oro Mensah taking on Miles Bourne.
Yeah,
we had that match in there. There seems to be a lack of leadership in the new catch quarter. There's a lack of leadership going on at the moment.
You had Jasmine Nix wrecking yet another win. This time it was against Carmen Petrovic, and now you're going to match made for Heatwave tag team match, which we'll get onto later.
Carmen Petrovic and teaming up with Ariana Grace, because she was asking for Natalia. No word if Natalia is coming back to WWE. Contract has expired recently, so there's no word yet if she's coming back.
And to end NXT, contract signing with Ethan Page, Javon Evans, Sean Spears, and the champion. Sean and Ethan got put through tables.
Fun little segment there. Did you watch the video packages for all 4 of them? Did you watch the video package for all 4?
I did, yeah. And
what did Sean Spears say at the end of it?
Oh, I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know.
He will finally reach the pinnacle of NXT. Mentioning his old little faction.
So the rating I'm going to give to NXT, even though this wasn't a great show, still a good show. NXT, even when they're good, they're still good. If that makes any sense. Bronze plus for NXT.
I'll say silver. Another thing I enjoyed was the segment with Shawn Michaels addressing Brooke Jensen.
I love that. So NXT has become the attitude era now that everybody has a role. Whatever that role is, whether that's
you have to remember that it's a smaller brand compared to Raw and SmackDown. It is a lot smaller than Raw and SmackDown. The Brooke Jensen thing was fine.
Whether that's your champion Trick Williams or that's Brooks Jensen doing little bits of segments here and there, everybody's got a role. So fantastic. Now you've been looking at that briefcase all night, but what's in it? I'll reveal in a second. 1 second.
Can we play an ad while we're doing that?
So, what's in the briefcase? Everybody in the comments get guessing, because it is, of course, it is, what have I found? The championship. And Bobby did win it, but Bobby's not been here for weeks. So, ripping him, and the title is now vacated. So, it's up for grabs. So, I could win it. So I may win it. Ian may win the title back, or TJ, who unfortunately can't make it tonight, but TJ might make himself a three title holder.
Yes, he could. He won the It Doesn't Matter quiz. Do check it out on the YouTube channel. It was a good quiz.
So we'll go with WWE. Well, it's all WWE. We'll go with Money in the Bank first. So I'll play this. So WWE pay-per-view preview, 10 seconds of thoughts. Yeah, looks like a good pay-per-view. Yeah.
It's short and sweet, no 15 matches.
So let's go with women's Money in the Bank. Let me find
this will definitely kick off the show.
Somewhere here.
This will kick off the show.
So Zoe Stark versus Tiffany Stratton versus Chelsea Green versus Lyra Valkyrie versus Io Sky versus Naomi. Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Who walks away? Obviously not with this briefcase. This is mine, but their own briefcase. Who's taking it, Ian?
Oh, I'm torn between two people. I want to say Tiffany Stratton, but it may be a bit obvious. And plus, like, it continues her story with Nia Jax. But does she need the Money in the Bank ladder match for that win for that one? I kind of want to say Chelsea Green for the hometown girl because I think she'd be very funny with the Money in the Bank, like attempted cash-ins and failings, and then she'd have the issue of Piper Nevin behind her back as well. So I want to see that work out. So it's between Chelsea Green or Tiffany Stratton. I'm going to take a shot because it's Canada. I'm going to say let one hometown hero win, Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green!
Sami Zayn puts a title on the line against Bron Breakker. I think Bron runs straight through him. But what's your thoughts?
I want to say Bron Breakker as well on this occasion. But then again, I'm having a few little thoughts because, like, this week, rumor has it Ricochet is going to sign with AEW. There's rumors he may appear tonight, whether he appears in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament or he appears after Will Ospreay versus Daniel Garcia. If he doesn't appear on Dynamite this week, does Ricochet come back to screw Bron Breakker out of the Intercontinental title? If not, Breakker to win. One hometown hero can't win either. And that puts more heat on Breakker as a heel if he destroys a hometown hero, Brock Lesnar style, like what Brock Lesnar did to John Cena.
Yeah. On the men's side of things, Jey Uso versus Chad Gable versus Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade, who's walking out holding that briefcase.
I've had a lot of thought to think about this, and I'm kind of going to do it like a ranking. For all men, lowest or highest to win. Drew McIntyre at the moment is the favorite to win for the men's side of things. I don't think he's winning. I think somehow or not, if not CM Punk's doesn't screw him over, do they have AJ Lee come back and do what she did with John Cena in 2012 at 2012 TLC during that ladder match for the briefcase? Distract him and then push him off the ladder. Jey Uso is too obvious. If the Wyatt Six don't screw him, there is a lot of some people are thinking that Hikuleo is rumored to debut at Money in the Bank and cost Jey Uso the match. And that could play a part into the 6-man tag that we get to later. LA Knight probably not winning because we're probably going to get Logan Paul screw him over. Chad Gable could be an early favorite if he can survive the Wyatt Six. So it comes down to either, I'm going to take a chance and say Andrade, because I think it's too soon for Carmelo Hayes to win a title. Like Andrade was always a favorite of Triple H and he wanted to push him to the top. He never got that moment during Paul Heyman and Vince. So now that he is back, we know that Triple H sees word him. I'm going to take a chance and say Andrade. Because everyone else is caught in their own little story that it may prevent that the Money in the Bank briefcase doesn't need to be involved in it. The Money in the Bank should be used to make another new star like Damian Priest. So I think I'm taking a shot on Andrade.
I love Andrade to win, but I think he's on the poster and look at the reaction he gets. Jay's winning. But Stephen Chambers, hello, thinks new champ Braun. We'll see you. Check out my predictions on Saturday for Money in the Bank. See if I agree with that. And Chad Gable winning, well, like I just said, I think Jay does it. Look at the reaction he gets. You tell me they're not going to cash in on that?
I know, but I think it's too obvious as well. Like if they do, but if Hikuleo is debuting this weekend, and he costs Jay to help the Bloodline, does the Money in the Bank briefcase not to be needed to be involved in the Bloodline with Civil War?
Who knows? Creed's help Creed's. That could, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's always been a possibility because there is still plans to put the Creeds and Ivy Nile with Chad Gable. Like Ivy Nile probably doesn't. Well, Ivy Nile's not in it, so.
Yeah. She's in Diamond Mine or whatever it's called.
Yeah, but she's not in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
I know, no. So get your thoughts in, Stephen, for this. The Bloodline acknowledged them, taking on the team of Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. When whatever. Your thought. Who's winning?
It has to be the Bloodline on this occasion, because if they're going ahead with Cody versus Solo at SummerSlam, you need to give them that motivation. And it's their first time as a faction, as a team, because we have seen Solo and Tama Tonga team up, but we haven't seen them team up as a faction. So we're going to be getting Solo and Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa all teaming up. So I'm thinking Bloodline maybe is what Stephen Chambers is saying, the same thing as well as I was saying earlier on. You have to have Solo. Maybe you have to have Solo get that pin on Cody to build more momentum into their match at SummerSlam if they're going to still pull the trigger on that one. Because some people were hoping for Cody and Randy, then Roman versus Solo, but the death of Sika has changed everything. So let's have give Roman time to grieve.
I think you have Solo pin Cody to build to SummerSlam.
Yeah,
that's going to make Solo look totally unstoppable.
Yeah, you have to make him a threat. You have to make Solo
see, does a fall win on Cody? Is that enough? I suppose it is, but
you have to have some sort of motivation for Solo.
Your probable main event, unless it is the Bloodline. Let's go with this as your main event for the Men's World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, 1-on-1. Are we seeing a new champion here?
I'm saying Seth Rollins as well on this occasion. I mean, I want Priest to win as well, but I think on this occasion it has to be Seth Rollins because, number one, it was supposed to be Seth Rollins versus Gunther at WrestleMania. CM Punk's return changed everything, so that still should go ahead for SummerSlam 2. Do you remember what happened at last year's Money in the Bank when Seth Rollins took on Finn Balor? Damian Priest cost Finn Balor the match when he tried to cash in. It didn't work out. Seth got the win at Money in the Bank. So we could see Finn Balor, and just from the little segments we've seen with Finn Balor and Damian Priest building up to the match, I think Finn Balor with Liv Morgan cost Priest the world title. Priest gets kicked out of Judgment Day, and then you have Priest and Finn at SummerSlam.
Owens gets pinned. I think Cody gets pinned. And no, it's too early. Gunther beating someone that's been champion for a month does nothing for Gunther at all. I don't care that it's Rollins is a bigger star. He's won the title more. He's been champion for 1 month. Beating Priest doesn't make Gunther look any stronger, but it makes him look stronger. So, yeah,
but what do you do with Seth Rollins if he doesn't beat Priest? What do you give Seth Rollins?
Don't know. Okay.
No, I think I'm going to say Seth Rollins on this occasion. I think we're going to have that, and then we get Damian Priest, and then we get Damian Priest getting kicked out of Judgment Day. We see the temporary split. We see the split of the two main parts of the Judgment Day, that being Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, and Dom sides with Finn, JD, Liv, and Carlito. And we get Damian Priest versus Finn Balor at SummerSlam.
Happening this weekend, and that is so NXT Heatwave again. Quick 10 seconds. Yeah, looks like a good card. Really looking forward to it. So yeah, so let's go with Women's Championship. Let's see. No, not that one. That one. Let's see. Is Kalani Jordan in her first ever title defense against Sol Ruka. Women's North American Championship on the line. Who have you got?
It's Kalani Jordan's first pay-per-view since winning the title, so she definitely is retaining.
For the NXT tag team titles, Chase, you get another title shot against Nathan Fraser and Axiom.
Well, if you were watching the Chase U segment on NXT, you saw that Ridge Holland helped them defeat Gallows and Anderson, and that was cheating, and that kind of didn't sit well with Andre Chase. So he's asked Ridge Holland to stay behind. So I don't think Ridge is capable of following order. So I think he comes in and accidentally costs them the match. Fraser and Axiom retain.
Oh, yeah. Could do that. So, Stephen Chambers, like and subscribe. Everybody else, like and subscribe. Yeah, they retain. Ridge Custer screws Chase.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I can see some tension between Rich Holland and Riley Osborne will play a part in that. Maybe even you have Fia Hale trying to break up the two. That costs them the match. Axiom and Fraser retain.
The match that we should have started with on the countdown or kickoff show, call it what you like. Ariana Grace and Carmen Petrovic versus Jacy Jayne and Jasmine Nix. Who have you got?
I'm going to say Jacy Jayne and Jasmine Nix. I don't see Ariana Grace and Carmen Petrovic working well. I'd say it'll be funny, but I think the comedy will cost them. I think Jacy Jayne and Jasmine Nix get this one.
This one should be a good one, but again, tell me how it should be on pay-per-view. But for the men's North American Championship, Wesley has his final shot against Oba Femi. Do you see Oba retaining?
I'm looking forward to this one. This is a true David. This is a David versus Goliath type story. Like Wesley in this is the Rey Mysterio compared to like Oba Femi is guys like Batista, Kane, Big Show, Undertaker. He's going to be that mountain for Wesley to climb. I want to see Wesley go for because I think Oba Femi is definitely ready for something bigger. There's an aura around him that says main event star on NXT and on the main roster. I think he is ready for that next level now. I think he should be the one to dethrone Trick Williams in the future. He's definitely ready for that spot. So I want to take a chance. I'm going to say, because for sympathy story and everything he's gone through, I'm going to say Wesley.
On the back to the women's side of things, NXT Women's Championship, Lola Vice challenges Roxanne Perez. Is this Lola Vice's time?
I think so, yeah. I think it's Roxanne Perez. I mean, Lola Vice is definitely ready. At some point, I think maybe after the summer, Roxanne Perez is getting called up to the main roster after SummerSlam.
I agree with that. And in your main event in Fatal 4-Way action, not 2 but 3 challenges. So Trick Williams, Ethan Page, Javon Evans, who's definitely the future, and Sean Spears, NXT Championship.
It's going to be a fun match, but no, it's going to be a whoop that trick. I think the hometown heroes don't get the job done.
Stephen Sheamus is agreeing and going with Trick as well. So Stephen and everybody else will have to tune in when I do my watch along for Money in the Bank and Heatwave this weekend to find out my predictions. Because I like to draw you guys in. So our final segment here. Some of these bits we've covered already, but we're just going to revisit.
Shall we do a video before that? Oh, never mind.
Oh yeah, sorry, yes.
Should we do? You normally do a video before that. Hang on, I'll get the video out now. Just one sec. Okay, I know the one you do. Just hang on. It's always messy around here. Or like just hang on. I know
yeah.
I know the one we normally do. So just hang on. Yeah, here we go.
Welcome to my store on Pro Wrestling Tees. Check out my beautiful dog logo.
To never miss a second, never miss an upload, never miss anything I do, and never miss when I go live doing watch parties and my brand new podcast. Live Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. The Raining Rock Podcast. Add me on Facebook, Ricky J. Pate. Whilst there, search on Facebook, WWA World Wrestling Alliance. Follow me on X at Ricky Goldmans. Head over to Pro Wrestling Tees and search Goldmans1 and head over to my YouTube channel. Search, like, and subscribe to the People's Wrestling Channel. That once again, the People's Wrestling Channel.
That is right. All my socials, like, subscribe, all of that. And it is time for a final segment here.
You need to clear out some of the banners you don't use, man. Like you just got mixed up there. You need to clear out the banners you don't use.
The video Heroes as well killed then the Billy Ray Dog one then. So
you need to clear out a few of them you don't use. It's going to cause confusion.
If I need to use it again, you can send me again. So its final go home segment is.
You hit the wrong one, so I'll do that for you now. Hang on.
So news and headlines. So let's kick off strong. That is Dijak apparently leaking information backstage. So he screwed up his career because who's going to want somebody doing that back?
Well, he was apparently backstage at the door. Well, he's now back on the independent.
If Tony Khan gets Dijak into AEW, that is just god mode level of stupidity. Who wants a wrestler on their roster leaking info? Nobody.
I know. It's like leaking information to the. It's like back in the 80s. If you were leaking information to the Russians, then you were a traitor. Yeah, it's a very.
He's fine on the indies.
He's on the indies.
Fine on the indies because who cares? Who cares? And this is not me burying the indies, but who cares about the indies? Like, Sean Ross Sapp doesn't care what happens on some random indie show in America. Or whoever.
Do you think he could kind of end up like a Ryback type bitter person, like what Ryback does in his podcast? Because I could see him I could see him as a very bitter Ryback type person.
Possibly because I think they said to him you were going to be on main event and he didn't want that to happen. So
yeah.
We discussed it earlier, but really quickly discuss it now, and that is Natalya leaving WWE and apparently she could be on her way to AEW. She's only going to get wasted there.
I don't know if that's actually true. The thing with Natalya's contract, she was in that situation where a lot of contracts were coming up and nobody was really focused and nobody could really resign them at the moment. So she has removed that. Like maybe she will come. Maybe she could come back. Should she go to AEW?
Not really, because I agree with Steven.
There's another option as well.
Same thing applies with Knight. Same thing applies with Natalya and Dijak getting lost in the shuffle. Yeah, like everybody that Tony Khan signs, they get a push for 2 months if they're lucky. 6 months, and they have to be really damn lucky to get that. Unless
you're Swerve.
But yeah, okay. That's one thing that AEW did. One thing that AEW did right, but usually they get signed for 2, and then 2 months later they're like, "Who?" and they're jobbing out on Dynamite on Collision or something.
Well, with the Natalya situation, she doesn't have to go to AEW. She could go to TNA. We've seen her work with Jordan Grace. We saw that at the Royal Rumble, so could see that again.
Natalya would be a great fit for.
I think she'd do better in TNA than AEW.
But she'd be lost. So she'd get a match against Toni Storm and then lose, and then that's it. And then
but she'd also get Toni Storm. She'd get Britt Baker. She'd get Mercedes Moné. Yeah, but she kind of get. I think she probably. Hopefully, she comes back to WWE. If not, I could see her going to TNA.
I'll read that in a second. Okay, Jordine
heading to WWE whenever a contract runs out. Oh, definitely, I can see that happening. Yeah, I definitely see that happening.
So Ricochet could be signing tonight. AEW again. Same thing like everybody else. He's going to get wasted. He'll have some matches with Will Ospreay, and that will be it. So
that's it. Well, look, I want to see a Ricochet Will Ospreay match. I want to see a Ricochet Pac match. But yeah, I don't know would he be made a priority compared to a Swerve, a Kenny Omega, a Mox, and MJF. Yeah, he'd have great matches with Ospreay. He'd have great matches with Pac. Maybe Adam Cole. We've seen him and Adam Cole work well together. Maybe he can reunite his tag team with Matt Sydal. Like, there is possibly, but I'd say, like his WWE run, he'd be mid-card for mostly. But I do want to see Ricochet and Will Ospreay because that will be a fun match.
small little news, and that is the Creeds are going to be in GCW. That is huge for them because they're being used rather than for those. And I know there's probably about a time here for those that watch check the results for main event. They lost to LWO this week. Like, oh. But yeah, they're on the way to GCW.
So we'll just have to see. I'm going to watch Dynamite tonight because we have Will Ospreay versus Daniel Garcia. So we'll see if Ricochet does sign for them.
I agree with that. It would be a very good fit, a great high flyer. Yeah, go to TNA. And speaking of TNA, the crowd they just had, and I'm a very loose TNA fan. I've got DVDs. I've been to the show. When it was in Manchester, I'm much more of a WWE fan, but even I'm now interested in watching TNA, so it works. So, your thoughts on that, Ian?
Yeah, it does. Like the stuff with NXT and TNA is working out fine. We hopefully see more of that. Speaking of WWE, the WrestleMania 40 documentary will be airing on YouTube this week.
Oh, that's tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, the documentary leading into the main event, the two main events of WrestleMania 40. We'll finally hear Cody's thoughts on the return of The Rock and The Rock trying to take his place in the main event.
I wouldn't know about this match. I don't watch AEW. Statlander versus Willow.
Oh, these are the matches that are happening on Bash the Beach tonight on Dynamite. It's AEW Dynamite Bash the Beach.
Beach Break, isn't it?
Beach Break, yeah.
So Willow's probably going to win that, but whatever. Big news, and I know you're not a fan of them. You support Liverpool, but it's still huge news. WWE and Manchester City. And Stephen, I don't know if you're from America. If you are, Manchester City is a soccer team here. If you are from the UK, you'll have heard of them. But they're now doing a deal, and you get top of the table T-shirts. I think that is super cool. The Man City, the best team in the world. One of their players in 316. Yeah.
But you start to be a Man City. You start to be a Man City supporter now because of this deal. Have you ever watched Man City play? Have you ever watched Man City play live on TV?
I think once on holiday when they were in some kind of final, and I've been to one match. But all I'm saying is it's a massive deal. That's all I'm saying. So you're from Minnesota, Mississippi, so you won't have heard of Man City. They're a soccer team. Like you have
English Premier League.
Steelers. You have the Steelers. You have I don't know American football teams. So Steelers and the Ravens and things like that. We have Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, so on and so on. And the final piece, I'll try and say this without going to all in. Am I hell? No. Even if cheap tickets, and most tickets are £30, that would be $60, I think. I don't know dollars. I don't know conversion thing. But no way. It's just not worth travelling to London. Even if I'm a millionaire, I still go. Anyway, that's how bad AEW is. They don't leave me wanting more. It's just like very bad business. But speaking of their owner, Tony Khan was on Fox saying that they pulled $500 million over 110 events. That's not even possible. They would need about $5 million at each event to make that possible. They don't even get 5,000. Never mind 5 million. That doesn't make him look clownish. And people are gonna. I thought, what? That's not even. Even if you're the worst person in the world but are doing maths, that's not possible. So, your thoughts on that, Ian? Before we finish up.
I'd say it's another just Tony Khan just trying to keep selling the false things about AEW. Speaking of AEW, the big talk about is Shane McMahon possibly joining AEW.
Oh yeah, we'll cover that as well then. See, I agree with what you said on a post on a Facebook thing. He's just going to get himself over.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was on the Real Pro Wrestling podcast yesterday night, and I gave a few good points. Like if Shane does join AEW, Tony Khan has to go into this with his eyes open. Does Shane become an asset to the backstage area, or does he try and get himself over? Because, like, we've seen this situation before. TNA were in this situation when they brought Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff in, and it damaged them really bad because they spent a lot of money on the two, and it nearly killed the company. And all the people they brought in that did more damage, like they brought in a lot of their own friends. They brought in Jeff Hardy. We saw what happened there. We saw a lot of talent leave because they weren't getting used enough. We saw all the attention that came on Hogan and Bischoff, and it turned many people away from the company. And this is the thing as well. Tony Khan has to go in that with his eyes open, like bringing in someone like Shane McMahon, who may go into business for himself. We saw that before at the 2022 Royal Rumble. We saw that at WrestleMania 39 with that match with The Miz where he tore his quad, and they could have brought someone else in, like LA Knight at the time, who was getting really over, and he could have been in that match. And then, you don't want Tony Khan to do the same thing what happened with CM Punk. Like, he brought in CM Punk, he saw, and like CM Punk was possibly going to carry AEW into the future, but all the problems backstage changed his mind. So could Shane have those sort of affiliations with the Young Bucks and the Elite? Could he bring back old history with guys like Chris Jericho, Adam Copeland, or Bryan Danielson? So you have to go into these things with your eyes open. With two eyes, one in front, no, 4 eyes, one in front and one in the back of your head.
So two things. I agree. Scott D'Amore, well, yeah, did wonders for TNA, and Shane is either going to do two things: one, get himself on the show and kill himself by doing some stunt, or he'll do the backstage stuff. And like, does Shane really know about business? I don't think he does.
He has a few businesses now. I don't know much of businesses. As far as the trying to kill yourself, if he wants to do that, he can have a match with Darby Allin.
That's exactly what he would do. He would do some crazy stunt, paralyze himself or kill himself.
Yeah, but you do question, like, what's he going to do to help make guys like Will Ospreay or Swerve Strickland?
Not one thing. Oh, God, no. God, no. AEW Underground. Ugh. But now Underground's become his own thing, so don't shit my man no business.
I know, but like, this is the thing. All this came about because of a confrontation between Shane McMahon and Mercedes Moné in an airport. Now, there's talk that could have been talk about AEW. Maybe it wasn't about Shane joining AEW. Maybe it was just two friends meeting up for a quick cup of coffee and a chat. Like, people are just going to overassume this, so we have to look at that mindset. It could have been just two friends having a coffee and a chat, no business whatsoever.
Typical wrestling fans. Oh, The Undertaker and John Cena. Oh, they've been seen out having a drink together. Oh, they must be having a WrestleMania match.
Oh, The Undertaker associating himself with Tony Khan. Mark Calloway is All Elite, the traitor.
He's be on the next Dynamite.
What the hell is Mark Calloway doing in Dynamite?
Well, Taker's way too loyal to WWE, and also he's on a Legends contract. He's getting paid for doing nothing. So,
yeah, they ran into each other. Yeah, but they could have just been a friendly chat with a cup of coffee. I don't say like it was the idea of having Shane McMahon in AEW.
Oh, we've got Bob Backlund and Kofi Kingston talking. They've been seen, spotted somewhere. Oh, they're having a match. No, doesn't mean that at all.
Remember, let's make Darren Young great again. Let's make Kofi Kingston great again.
Bob Backlund's coming back to put over Kofi Kingston. It doesn't mean that at all. It means nothing. They're just friends or associates out talking about what they love.
Oh, you're about to talk about Bad Blood, by the way. Before we go, you're about to talk about Bad Blood.
Yeah, they're doing it. Apparently, they're doing a Hell in a Cell, and I think it'll be Reigns solo. I think you do Reigns solo there. But,
no, I don't think it'll be Reigns solo. You need to make for Hell in a Cell. Like, this is going to be a first Hell in a Cell after a year after WrestleMania 39. And one thing about Triple H is he wants to bring back the Hell in a Cell era when feuds were really personal. So if you want to have a Hell in a Cell match, you've got to let it be CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
How can you get it more personal than family?
There is that, but like we've seen all the stuff that's happened with Punk and Drew. They've basically had the feud of the year, and not one of them has had a match against each other until possibly SummerSlam. So I think that's where, like, because you could have the first match at SummerSlam, then at Bash of Berlin, and then wrap it up with Bad Blood.
Reigns isn't doing Bash at Berlin. Reigns is even when he comes back, he's still gonna be part-time. So he won't be. Reigns won't be there.
No, I'm talking about Punk and Drew.
Oh, right. Okay, right. So thank you, Stephen Chambers, for all your comments and some great insights right there. You're not, thank God, you're not one of these marks. So AEW is the best, isn't it? The greatest, isn't it?
Look,
no.
You can like all kinds of wrestling here. Just like everyone has the title to the opinion. Just enjoy wrestling.
But he's not one of the marks that like, oh, isn't it the best and is it the greatest? Far from the best, far from the greatest. Like I said, very bad business. Anyway, everybody join me Saturday for Money in the Bank, watch along and predictions. Sunday for Heatwave, watch along and predictions, and then Monday, Money in the Bank, Sporkle quiz. So Stephen, we'd love to hear from you then. Maybe you can help us out with what I'll let you guys into. Let you guys into a bit of breaking news here. One of the quizzes are going to be all participants ever in Money in the Bank. So yeah, I can take a good guess at a few of them, but I'll be at Collision on Saturday. Stephen will be at Collision on Saturday. Well, fair enough. Again, I'm not an AEW fan.
Oh, that's going to be on at the same time as Money in the Bank, though. Oh, that's I could see Collision taking a hit.
Saying that, if AEW kind of they take a hit weekly, if AEW came to Manchester, would I go? Yeah, it would depend who's on the card. If Chris Jericho was there, yes. Otherwise,
well, you could try and get interviews as well there.
I'm never going to interview Chris Jericho. I know. I have to come off as I'm Rick the Rock, Exxon's Goldman, and I'm on Godmon and all that. But Chris Jericho will want paying, time.
He's very money demanding.
He's not going to come onto a show like mine. He'd want somebody like Logan Paul that's got millions of subscribers and millions of views. And I would just get starstruck. I'd be like, and then just ask nothing. So, no. I want to one day maybe be there to interview Chris Jericho, but I'm starting small. Not that Drill's small. I loved interviewing Drill, and thank you to him, but so yeah, everybody join me on Money in the Bank predictions and watch along. Like and subscribe. It's the Wise Man out. It's Ricky Goldman out. Good night. Thank you and goodbye.
Have a good week.